I'd really like to tell you, but I don't think it's nice with a mixed audience. So I won't tell that. But it really happened. I mean, that's what makes things funny, when they really happen. One night we was traveling in the bus, and we hadn't had our bus too long. And Wally Fowler was traveling in our bus. And I think everybody had gone to bed. I believe I had. And all of a sudden, there was a quick turn in the bus. And Wally Fowler rolled out of that bed, and he rolled all over that bus. That was the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. I can't tell it so it's funny to you. But he didn't have on enough clothes, and it was really funny. It made him so mad he couldn't see. He thought they did it on purpose, but they didn't. But I guess that's about the funniest thing I can tell. I saw a lot of funny things in my career, but it doesn't pay to tell everything you know. It's good to see you.
You know, Mr. Whitfield sang with the Florida Boys when I joined them, and we were singing in Thomasville, Georgia. And the LeFevres were there, the Sunshine Boys was there, and I don't know, there's a couple other groups were there, but the place was packed, I mean, full. And they were sitting on the stage and around everywhere, so the Florida Boys come out, we went out, and Mr. Whit, we'd sing 2 or 3 songs, and he started to introduce this song. And at that time, it was a real popular song that Elvis Presley had started using. And so it was a song called There's a Leak in This Old Building. So Mr. Whit got up there, and he really made a big spiel, you know, what a great song, big song this is, and everything we're going to sing. He says, this song is called I Got a Leak in This Old Building. Well, school was out. I mean, that was it for us. I mean, we couldn't do it anymore.
David Rees is the funniest one person that I've ever known in my life. I could sit here for an hour listening to the guy. So many funny things that he has told and done in his life, but I think the funniest one thing that I remember about David doing, and this actually happened, one day in Charlotte, he was walking down the street, and there was a man standing on the street reading a newspaper, had it up like this. As David walked by, he struck a match and lit it to the bottom of the man's newspaper. The man didn't see it. David keeps walking. In a few minutes, the man's newspaper is just burning up, you know, and he's there stopping, trying to put the fire out, and David's around the corner looking back to see what happened. But just picture that in your mind. That's the kind of guy David Rees is. And a lot of us remember when he'd put the shoes on the wrong feet.
Oh, he's talking about the shining the shoes. There's one time I sat down and had the shoes on the wrong foot, and this guy turned around, he saw it, you know, and he looked up at me and he said, so you kind of got your shoe on the wrong foot there, ain't you? I said, no, I'm deformed. He said, oh, you is? I said, well, I'm sorry. Most of the time, they wouldn't even say a word, though. They just work at it and sweat, you know. Oh, well, I better hush.
We were in Tampa, Florida, and David put his shoes on the wrong feet. Went in and sat down, and, you know, the shoeshine boy gets used to that curve in your foot being on the inside. Yeah. Well, the curve on your foot's on the outside. Yeah. Well, he tried to get that rag. He couldn't get the rag to popping. He couldn't get it going right. And he looked at David and said, what's wrong with your feet? And David said, I had them shot off in the war. And the guy said, is? David said, yeah, they sewed them back on the wrong legs. And I was sitting over on the wall reading the paper, and I had it up on my face like this, dying, you know. And I pulled it down to look at the boy's face, and he was in such pain for David, you see. And he tried to put that rag on him, and he tried to do it tender, and finally he looked up at David and said, "Do they hurt?"
You know, we all know that the PA set is supposed to be too loud at any singing. A funny thing happened one time. We were talking about it at the table a few minutes ago. As Kenny was saying, when anybody griped about the public address system being too loud, we'd always send them to Bill Crow. So this night, the lady came up to Kenny and says, "The PA set is just too loud." Kenny pointed to Bill. He says, "He's the man that takes care of the PA set. Go talk to him." So she went over to Bill. Bill was at the record rack. She told Bill, she says, "The PA set is too loud." Bill says, "What?" She says, "The PA set is too loud." Bill said, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you." She said, "The PA set is too loud." Bill said, "I can't understand a word you're saying. The PA set's been so loud all night, it's just got me deaf." I don't recall where it was. But in the South, you know, when somebody begins to put a little weight on, we say they fleshened up. That's a nice way of saying you're getting fat. But this lady came up to Bill. She looked up at him. She says, "I see you fleshened up, Bill." He said, "Yeah, I see you've got fat too." Now, all of you know that know Ace Richmond. They broke the mold when they made Ace. One of the finest men in the world, but they broke the mold. Yeah. So Ace was going to drive my car. So we're coming up on a narrow, very narrow road down in South Georgia someplace. And I could see a car way on the other side, and it was coming to the bridge. I said, "Ace, the bridge is too narrow." "Oh, no, we can make it. We can make it." Kept it going. You remember that, J.D.? I said, "Ace, we're not going to make it." He said, "No sweat, we'll make it." We hit that bridge, both cars going about 60 miles an hour, and Ace got over on the right as far as he can get. He wiped out the right side of my car, but we didn't hit the other car. And I got out of the car on the other side, and I said, "Shucks."
Yeah, Fred was telling you the truth there.